So we're here backstage in the O2 Islington, and we're with the fantastic Sam from Conquer Divide. First of all, how are you?
I'm doing great, and how are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Finally made it in here. That was an ordeal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit of chaos trying to get in, but we're good. We found a nice quiet room without the anarchy of this venue. So
Yeah.
no, it's actually been a really great venue. So.
Well, I mean, we like a bit of agents of chaos and that sort of thing. It works
That's
out
why
well.
that's why we do this.
Exactly. Now, your most recent single, Bad Dreams, it literally dropped only about 15 days ago or so. How do you feel it's been received by fans? And from my personal perspective, excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been well received. I think we're at like 500,000 streams already in just like 2 weeks. The song is featuring Of Virtue. It's another band that's based near us in Michigan. So it's been really, really cool kind of seeing like our crossover between like our fan bases and our communities, and so people were really excited as well to see that we were featuring them, so that's been really cool.
Yeah, so you literally skipped into my next question. Literally, nicely done. What a transition.
Segues.
But what was it like working with Of Virtue?
Oh, they're great. I mean, they're very easy to work with. They're really, really nice guys, and so when we approached them about doing this with us, we were just hoping that they were available because we knew that they would probably be easygoing and easy to work with. They're pros. They know what they're doing.
I mean, in this day and age, it's quite easy to collaborate. You just send people music through that. It's crazy how things have changed in that world.
Yeah, well, even within our band itself, like ever since this band got started 10 years ago, it's always been, I'd say, more of a remote virtual band using technology to stay in touch, to trade ideas, to record, to send each other demos and things like that. So we're very used to that. So even pre-pandemic, that's something that this band has always been doing.
Cool. Now, you've actually collaborated with a few different bands over the years. Who's actually been, I don't like using the term favourite because that's favouritism, but what's been memorable out of the ones you've collaborated with?
I would say Electric Callboy for sure. That was also the most collaborative of all of the tracks that we've done with other people. So usually it's been like a track that's featuring someone. So someone else's track is featuring Conquer Divide, and it's usually mostly Kia or us featuring the vocalist of another band. But with the Electric Callboy single, that was a true collaboration where it was co-written by our guitarist Kristen, featuring Kia's voice, of course. So that's actually more of a true kind of co-write. The song is actually co-written by the two bands, and so that was really memorable. And they're just I've said it in a million interviews and a million times, but they're just amazing people, them and their team as well. And we flew out to Germany and filmed the music video with them, so that was absolutely the most memorable.
Cool. Well, I have to say, it is thanks to Electric Callboy that I actually discovered Conquer Divide, because I was checking out the album Techno, loved it, and I heard this song and I was like, I'm digging this song. Okay, who the hell's this? Listened to your stuff and I was like, okay, so let's hear a bit more. And I was like, okay, now I'm getting intrigued.
Were you also surprised when you heard what we actually sound like? Did you think we'd be a pop punk band?
Kind of, yeah.
It's fair. It's totally fair.
But like when I heard your stuff in like general, I was like, excellent. This is fantastic to actually hear. Now, I have to say, who would you love to collaborate with? Like literally anyone, and they don't even have to be alive anymore. Like the world, the whole spectrum of music. Who would you go for?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a long list, but I think the person or the band that most of us in Conquer Divide would agree on at this point in time, for sure, would be Courtney from Spiritbox. I think that would be great. I think it would just be a really good fit. Of course, there's plenty of other musicians we all look up to and that we love, who would also be great. But I think that doing something with Spiritbox would be pretty cool.
Courtney, Spiritbox. You heard it here first. Let's make this happen because I can only imagine how cool that would be. Now, you're playing the O2 tonight. Well, I say the O2 Islington, because when you say the O2, everyone's like, really? Massive.
Wow.
Yeah, but O2 Islington, still a great venue.
Yeah.
But this is more of the mid-sized venue. I'm always fascinated to know, because you are coming back to play London in a couple of next month, actually.
Mm-hmm.
No, this month. No, next month.
February.
Yeah, sorry. I'm losing track of time. This is really bad.
I don't know what day it is.
Yeah. It's Friday, isn't it?
Is it?
Is it?
Probably.
Probably.
I trust this guy. Listen to him.
Brave woman. I've lost my train of thought. So the question was, you're playing a smaller venue, the Camden Underworld, I believe it is.
Yes.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer the sort of the mid-sized venues like this? Do you prefer the smaller, let's say, lack of security dive bar style venues? Or do you really dig those huge stadium venues where you can look out and see a sea of people? What is your personal favorite?
Okay, so I know that I do have bandmates who prefer the small, intimate venues. They love that. I personally think the bigger the better, because I actually get more nervous if I'm playing in front of fewer people, because I can make eye contact with people. I can see how each is reacting. And I do like to occasionally, look at people in the audience and see, are they reacting? Are they enjoying themselves? But I'm so much more nervous so I've played at Underworld before with a different band in 2016. Great venue, legendary venue, but yeah, it's a little smaller, a little grimier, a little edgier, but it's a great venue nonetheless. So I am excited. I don't know. It's just, there's more space for everyone to run around. I feel better for my bandmates. I'm stuck regardless in the same spot.
But no one tripping over your drum kit as they run past.
Exactly. So for my bandmates' sake, I like when they have more space to move around, have fun, and I like when there's just more people. I don't know. It's so cool. And then if you get like a really big circle pit, and you can just see or if you in our song Nightmares, which we usually end the set with. We like to ask people to bring out their phones and do their flashlights in this quiet part. And the more people out there, the more of those little lights you get. And it's just such a magical experience.
Cool. So you mentioned you would go with the big venue, mate, because you can't see people just going.
Yeah, if they're crossing their arms and looking at you, I can't really tell. So that's great.
Just doing the stare going,
Yeah, this band's okay, I guess. I don't know.
They're cool. Yeah. So, but you love the big stages.
I do.
If you had a budget, you could just do anything on stage, what would your stage setup be? Like, how would it go? Ooh. Pyromaniacs and everything. Pyromaniacs, that's just me on a bad day.
Would we have pyro? 100%. I actually love when people do cryo. So when they do like the ice jets, I think that looks so cool. And it's usually a bit more venue fire code safe. So cryo is always cool, but yeah, pyro would be amazing. I would love to have a crazy drum riser. I mean, I've seen, they do it with Sleep Token. We just went to a show in Glasgow the other night, Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium, yep, where you get like the big drum riser. On one hand, I like being close to my bandmates so we can like vibe off each other and make eye contact. But man, even just one show, like if we just had one big production show, like I'd be happy. And just so I have my own space and I can just, look across at my bandmates and be like, hey, have you seen this shit? This is crazy. Anyway. Yeah.
Well, you got my vote. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Let's make this happen.
Yep.
Spiritbox. So they'll come and support, do a collaboration, and let's do a massive show.
Love it. Exactly.
Now, I've touched on the single. Is this a hint we're going to start seeing new music? Because the last album was, I think, in 2023.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Are we going to be getting something new this year? Can you tell me anything?
I don't have guarantees. We have started working on some new tunes. We don't have anything finalized yet. Bad Dreams we've actually been sitting on for some time because we knew that we were going to want to release some music between albums. But we are going to probably start getting into writing mode. It's just tough because it takes time to write a really good album. And just based on what I know of how this last album, Slow Burn, came to be, I don't know if it will be out this year, but hopefully 2026. I mean, if it ends up being sooner, great, but I just don't want to make any promises.
To be fair, don't rush it. The worst albums are always the ones when you got a producer coming in going, where's the record? Where's the next song? Take your time, make it epic. Now, if you had the choice, or not the choice because you have to do these both, but what do you prefer? Do you prefer the touring and seeing the fans, or are you much more in the studio, getting creative? Out of the two, what do you edge towards?
Oh, I'm a touring girl for sure. I get nervous in the studio. I do like writing. Drum parts, but recording, no. I get what do they call it? Red light fever or whatever, where as soon as they start recording and then you've forgotten everything that you've been working on for months. But no, I mean, it's not the worst thing ever for me, but the thing I love the most about being in a band is playing live shows, meeting fans, talking to people. I mean, I don't know, exploring like different venues, different cities, like different countries. It's just touring. It gives me this amazing feeling that nothing else does. So yeah, I'm definitely here to be a live drummer for sure.
Cool. Now, last question. It's not that surprising. Or is it? Is it surprising? It might be. So I like to end my interviews with a little segment this year I'm calling Tales of Touring Terror.
Ooh. Ooh.
Exactly. So I'm going to ask you, have you got a story you want to share about something crazy, creepy, embarrassing, gross, anything that's absolutely mad? You can throw one of the other girls under the tour bus if need be for like the jokes of it. But over to you. A tale of touring terror.
I have two stories that I usually tell when people ask. I'm just trying to think of which one. Okay, well, I'll give you a just the shortened version of both of them. One of them is the first time that I ever toured in Europe. It was not with Conquer Divide. It was with a band called Nervosa from Brazil. And we were in Europe and we were on this tour bus. There were 3 bands sharing the bus. And we were in the middle of somewhere in Belgium. And the bus, I went to bed early that night. And then I'm being shaken awake by somebody else saying, the bus is on fire. The bus is on fire. Get up, get up. And I'm like, oh my God, what? Like, I don't see a fire. And then so anyway, then everyone gets off the bus and the bus is totally dead. And the engine is, anyway, it's all messed up. And we're like, well, we're on the side of the highway somewhere and we need to get shuttled into town. And there was some crazy stuff that happened after that. But anyway, that's the main thing is that there's, the bus is on fire and now we're stuck on the side of a highway. We did eventually get rescued and we got hotels and it was fine. But that was pretty brutal way to be woken up saying the bus is on fire. And then there was another small tour that I was doing with my other old band in the U.S. And we were driving through New Mexico and we hear this car kind of comes out speeding from behind us. And then they cut across. There's like these, I don't know what you call them, like a bank, like a hillside.
Yeah.
And they crash into the hillside and we're like, oh my God, they're like, are they okay? And it's just this car just smashes into the hillside. And so we pulled over and we start getting out of the car to go and see if they're okay. And then we see these 2 guys get out. We're like, okay, they're alive. And then they grab these white packages of something and they start throwing them over the hillside. And then we hear sirens behind us and we're like, oh, never mind, not today. And then we just get back into the vehicle and we just drive off because we're like, oh, it's drugs.
Yeah. We saw nothing, officer.
Exactly. So anyway, we immediately made sure that we were not affiliated with them and we left. But yeah, so those are just, some of the things you see when you're on the road.
I mean, that is possibly the most interesting one I've heard. But
great.
Just bricks of white powder.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure it was just flour.
I'm sure.
It was just flour.
Someone does need to bake.
And the cops were like, how dare you steal our flour?
Yeah. The highway cops. It was someone's birthday.
Exactly. It was probably the grandmother's birthday.
Yeah. The chief was getting his breakfast. He was getting breakfast cake.
Irresponsible.
Exactly.
And unacceptable.
Exactly. Well, before this gets any more chaotic, Sam, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you. Looking forward to the show. Looking forward to seeing you in a smaller venue as well. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can't wait to see what comes next.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers.